Alright, fellas, what's going on? Denonu here, the man with black privilege. And I'm kind of sort of late with this one. Just want to apologize. I uploaded a lot of these Super Bowl TV spot trailers last weekend and like back around Monday and stuff. And I didn't forget about this one. I don't see how I could. It's like my most anticipated movie for this year. But I kind of sort of meant to get around, to making this video earlier with those, but I made a commentary, but didn't like what I was, didn't like how I kind of fucked up the commentary of it, so I had to redo it and just never got around to it until now. So, but anyway, Civil War Super Bowl trailer spot. Now that it's been a few days, I can talk about a lot of the stuff that piqued my interest with this one. So far, loving the suit changes with Ant-Man, with Iron Man, and War Machine. They look more sleek, slimmed down. You had the one thing with Iron Man where it looked like part of his suit came out of his watch and grafted onto his palm and he blocked the bullet. Thought that was badass. That was like the pinnacle and the highlight of the trailer for me. I really do like how they kind of made that deployment time really, really, really fast. I know it's all CG in real life, but that's something you see in the comic books all the time. That definitely reminded me of, let's say, like the Extremis armor or the Bleeding Edge armor. And I really do hope that maybe we'll get to see the bleeding arm. Messing up already. I hope we get to see the Bleeding Edge armor in the movies later on down the line. Although my logical side is I don't see it happening no time soon. I know that armor did a whole lot more with his body biologically than the other armors that he had, and that's just something I don't see them translating to screen, to be honest, because that's what everybody likes about his character. They like to see him wearing suits of armor and creating them, not what the Bleeding Edge armor was. So I don't think they're gonna do it that far. This, I think, it might be like nanotechnology or something like that, or waiting to hear the explanation, but that's what I think it's gonna be. Maybe this is going to be the movie version of it, and it's not going to do the whole biology stuff, with his body and going inside of his bones and all that kind of sort of stuff. This is just going to be another suit, but maybe it's going to do the same stuff without merging body parts and things like that. But anyway, like how they showed more of the whole teams. I know you had that whole team up scene. And like in Black Panther's suit, I know they kind of showed off that concept art that they had before, and they showed like a little stills here and there, but to see him alongside everybody else, that was cool. Another thing is always cool is Iron Man and his team had vision. So I don't know how Cap and company are gonna win, but it's really, really good. This has been my most anticipated movie for this year. Probably this, Doctor Strange, and then, Batman v Superman being, coming in at number 3. Excuse me, I'm sorry, number 4. We got Deadpool dropping tomorrow. That shit's my number 3. But I'm definitely going to be throwing out a video about that tomorrow when I see it. But this was pretty good. You didn't get to see a whole lot more story-wise, though. They pretty much just showed a few things here and there, and you saw a lot of action scenes. They didn't explain none of the setup. They kind of made it look like Rhodey died, but I can't see that happening. They're not going to kill off War Machine, and if they do, I'm going to be like really, really surprised that they do that, because that's kind of, you're throwing away a character. I could see them injuring him, making, let's say, knocking him out, putting him in a coma or something like that. Or let's say making it look like he died, messing up his body so bad that they gotta implant machines and stuff where he becomes basically like a walking cyborg, because I know that happened at a point in the comic books. So I could see them truly making him a war machine, but killing him off, I can't see that happening any way in the slightest. The only thing that I'm really worried about this movie is the story. Since I know they're doing the whole Civil War thing, I know it's going to be nothing like the comic book counterpart. I'm more worried that the story is going to be too focused. Damn, I can't talk that. I'm worried that it's going to be too focused on Bucky And what I mean by that is, I want the Civil War stuff and the Accords and all of that stuff to be forefront. And by this movie centering around Cap, you know, protecting Bucky from everybody else, I'm kind of worried that it's going to be too focused on that, and the Accords are just going to be like, oh, it's just this thing in the background to just make the characters fight each other. That's not what I want. I mean, if the movie's called Civil War, then have a reason for the heroes to fight each other, like a really good in-depth reason to do it, not just, oh, they want to come after Bucky, Cap wants to protect him, you know, because then it's like, all right, well, I call the movie Civil War. You know, it doesn't make sense in that regard. So I definitely want more story behind this movie. It looks like it may be that, but it's like, that's what I'm worried about, you know, because I think the same people who directed this also directed Winter Soldier, and that was badass and had story along with the action. So I assume this is going to be just fine, but it's just, like I said before, something I'm worried about, something that they could fuck up in place of the action. I know I just did that whole Batman v Superman video that's probably going to go up like an hour before this one. And I said the same thing about that. Is I'm worried more that they're putting in more action and less story. So I don't think that's going to be the case with this, but I really do think that it could mess it up, you know, to where I don't want it to be all action, because they have all of these characters fighting each other. I don't want the movie to be action scene after action scene after action scene. If the story develops into that and the story flows from scene to scene to scene with the action, then I'm fine. I'm completely fine with that. But I know they haven't shown a lot of the story, so I'm just talking out of my ass right now. So, but I'm also worried that they're gonna skip over Black Panther. I don't want him to just be in the movie as like another random face. I'm hoping they introduce his character. I'm hoping they give him, I know they're probably not going to do his origin, because I mean, you know, they got to save something for his movie coming out. I think that's coming out next year or maybe year after next. But I don't want his character to just be like, oh, here's this guy we know, Black Panther, he's going to help us out. I don't want that. I honestly think something is going to happen between Bucky and Black Panther. I don't know what, but I think Bucky's going to be let's say the reason for the movie, and and for the Accords and why the government's trying to go after him. Maybe somebody makes Black Panther and his people believe that he attacked Wakanda or something. I have no idea, but I want a decent reason for Black Panther to be in there fighting with everybody else. I mean, granted, they don't have to tell everything, because like I said, he still has his own movie, so they gotta save his whole origin and all that stuff for his movie. I just want him to just, I don't want him to be that background guy, Also, I hope that they get across the fact that Iron Man's armor isn't as tough as Black Panther's armor. Because technically Black Panther's suit is made out of the same metal that Captain America's shield is made out of. So I don't know how you're going to be able to fight that, but maybe they'll explain that, or maybe his suit won't be full. Yeah, damn, I really can't talk today. Maybe his suit won't be full vibranium like it was in the comic, but I have a feeling it will be, but I just don't know. I don't see how people can fight him wearing a suit like that if it's supposed to be unbreakable and all that stuff. But anyway, jumping back on topic, I do like the setup for this movie. I do like the tone of this movie. This movie looks like it's going to be intense. It's going to keep that same political thriller vibe that Winter Soldier had, and I hope it keeps that tone throughout its movie. The part that I'm really curious about, YouTube, is how are they going to end it? Because in Civil War in the comic books, you basically had Iron Man and Cap beating the hell out of each other until Cap gave up, and he didn't give up because Iron Man beat him, although Iron Man should have beaten him if you want to be technical about it, when you list all of their powers and capabilities. But that's another video for another day. But since you don't have that kind of devastation or that kind of dramatic feel in this movie, you know, because there was a reason, like if you read Civil War and you saw like the end pages, you understood why Cap gave up. I'm assuming they're not going to have those same reasons in this, so it's going to be interesting to see how they finish the fight, so to speak. And I'm just really curious as far as how's that going to happen. I know you had that scene in I don't know if it was the first trailer, but you had like that badass scene where Cap and Bucky were passing the shield back and forth, working on Iron Man. I'm hoping they don't show my boy getting that beat throughout the whole movie, because technically, I mean, his suit can outperform both of them. Just saying, throwing that out there. You know, it can mimic moves. You know, he can read Cap's movements before he throws punches. Just saying, you know. But you know, you got to show both of the heroes in a decent light, and it's gonna be hard if Tony Stark is as, let's say, I'm not gonna say dark, but as intense as his comic book counterpart was during Civil War. I have a hard time believing that they're gonna get the audience to like Tony Stark at the end of this movie, because that was like a big thing in Civil War where they made him do some really cruddy stuff. So if he's pissed off in this movie fighting Captain America for something that he believes that he's right in, then I'm assuming they're gonna make him cross a few lines. And since he's like, you know, the leading guy in Marvel's whole thing, you know, as far as their franchise goes, and his popularity rides that public opinion, so to speak, I'm gonna be, you know, it's gonna be very curious to see how the audience is gonna reflect on his character at the end of this movie. I have a feeling everybody's gonna pretty much side with Cap, because, you know, it's Cap. Hell, I know I would. My logical side wants to go with Iron Man, but my heart is like, yo, Cap's right, you know, so. But honestly, I think this teaser spot was very good. I know during the Super Bowl, it was probably like the biggest thing that played during the Super Bowl, you know, besides the actual Super Bowl. I know everybody was feeling it when it came out. I don't know, you know, like numbers or anything like that, but I know I've been seeing like websites and posts on my Facebook talking about how like it was the most popular, you know, trailer out of all of them during the Super Bowl and things like that. So just like in my Batman and Superman video that I made earlier, just like I said, that I wish that they'd have played that Batman and Superman trailer, like the one that came out yesterday, at the Super Bowl. I don't understand why they didn't. You don't, you know, hold back your big guns during the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? And if Marvel can, you know, drum up this huge wave of popularity for their movie, WB can do the same thing, you know, with Batman v Superman. And I just don't see why they didn't. And I know I said that, you know, in that video, if you guys want to check it out, but I mean, I don't have anything much to say. I mean, this teaser was good. It gave you what you saw. It gave you a little bit more. Gave you cool moments with Iron Man's little, you know, Iron Man glove thing, and that's the most you can ask for. And it had like Iron Man. The only thing that I didn't see it in the trailer or in the little teaser thing is Spider-Man. Now I've heard that he's going to be in the movie. I'm assuming probably a cameo or something. They might show him in the scene taking off his mask in front of people like he did in the comic book, or they might just show him in a scene where he's at school or something watching something on TV, you know, and have like Cap or Iron Man be on TV or something. But I know he's gonna have a cameo spot, and even though I want to see Spider-Man, I'm glad that they held it, and I truly hope that they hold it until release date, because a lot of times with movies they'll hold something for the movie, but then like a week or 2 or 3 weeks before the movie comes out, that's when something gets leaked, and then you see a picture of it and stuff like that, and it kind of spoils it for everybody. I truly hope that they keep that secret until the movie actually releases, because I think that, you know, everybody wants to see Spider-Man in, you know, the Avengers movies and stuff like that, and they're waiting to see what he's going to look like, what his costume is going to look like. I mean, granted, everybody knows what it's going to look like, but it's kind of like that confirming fact, you know, that we've all been waiting for. Everybody was hyped when it was announced that Marvel made that deal with Sony, but it's like we still have yet to see it in action, and everybody wants that validated, including me. So I really do hope they hold that, you know, for release. But anyways, enough of my rambling about superhero movies, because I can rant on for this about 45 minutes to an hour. So we're gonna cut this one, well, you know, a little short for me anyway. But my name is Denonu, the man with the most biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.